There's something almost, well, primal about the allure of heat, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you walk into that small wooden room, the air is thick, it's heavy, usually smells of cedar or something.
It's a very visceral boundary from the outside world.
Exactly. And you sit down, and for, the first few minutes, you just breathe. You feel your muscles start to loosen up. The mental clutter of the day just starts to evaporate.
You can feel it leaving.
Yeah. And when you walk out, you feel renewed. It's a ritual that cultures have practiced for centuries, right? From the Finnish saunas to
The Turkish hammams, the Japanese syntax. Yeah, it's a global thing.
It is. But, we live in this modern world, and we're obsessed with metrics, with optimization. We can't just enjoy something. We have to know if it's hacking our biology.
We need to know the ROI on our relaxation.
Right. What is the return on investment of my sweat? And that brings us to the big question. Is this just a nice way to relax? Or is it actually doing something to our waistlines? Is the sauna a legitimate weight management tool? Or is it just a fancy way to sweat out water?
It's one of the most common questions out there. And honestly, the answer is, it's remarkably nuanced. If you're looking for a simple yes or no, you're going to be disappointed.
Well, nuance is what we do here. So today we're digging into a deep dive titled Heat, Hormones, and the Science of Sauna Weight Management. We've pulled together a stack of research, and the mission seems to be moving past that whole quick fix mentality.
Exactly. We're not looking for a magic hot box.
No, we want to know if this ritual actually moves the needle on our physiology.
Precisely. And we have to debunk the instant weight loss myth right out of the gate. We have to be brutally honest about that.
Okay.
But then we can pivot to the actual physiology. Because while the scale might be deceiving in the short term, there are deeper mechanisms at play. We're talking heat shock proteins, hormonal shifts, inflammation.
So the gear's turning under the surface.
That's where the real story is. That's what might make the sauna a serious piece of the wellness puzzle.
Okay, let's unpack this. And I think we have to start with the deceptive part, the water weight reality check. Because this is the trap, I think, 90% of people fall into.
Oh, for sure.
You sit in the box, you sweat buckets, you get on the scale, and miracle of miracles, the number is down, sometimes 2 or 3 pounds.
It's the ultimate instant gratification. It's incredibly reinforcing. Your brain just says, it's working.
It really is. You feel lighter, you maybe look a bit tighter. It's so tempting to think, I just melted 2 pounds of fat in 20 minutes.
And that's the trap. So let's look at the hard facts from the sources. A single session can absolutely drop your body mass by, say, 0.5 to 2 pounds. The data is clear.
Right.
But, and this is a massive flashing neon but, that is almost entirely fluid loss. It's perspiration.
So I'm essentially just dehydrating myself into a lighter weight class, like a fighter before a weigh-in.
That is the perfect analogy. They do it to make weight, then they immediately rehydrate to actually perform. You are manipulating water balance, not fat stores.
And the second I drink water, which I obviously have to do,
Which you must do.
those pounds are coming right back.
Right back. If weight loss were as simple as sitting in a hot room, every spa would be a medical miracle center. We'd have solved the obesity epidemic.
It would be too easy. But then there's the other side of this. The calorie burn claims. I see this all over the internet. You're burning 600 calories just sitting there.
Yeah.
That sounds optimistic.
Optimistic is a very polite way to put it. I'd call it physiologically impossible for most people.
Okay.
The reality is much more modest. Now, it is true. Your body is working. Your heart rate goes up.
Why does it go up if I'm just sitting still?
Thermoregulation. Your body is desperately trying to keep your core temperature stable. To do that, it has to pump blood to the skin to cool down.
So the heart is working harder.
The heart is working harder. Your energy expenditure does increase, but we're not talking about a spin class level of burn here. Not even close.
So what are we talking about?
Depending on your size and the heat, maybe tens to a couple hundred extra calories. The source compares it to light to moderate walking.
Okay, so it's better than sitting on the couch, but it's not replacing a run.
Exactly. You aren't torching calories. But this is where we have to stop looking at the immediate numbers on the scale and start looking at the systemic changes. The real magic isn't what happens while you're sweating. It's what happens after you step out.
Okay, so let's shift gears. If it's not the calorie burn, what's happening under the hood? The text mentions redefining metabolism, which I think is a concept we need to clarify.
This is crucial. Most people think of metabolism as a simple on-off switch. Calories in, calories out.
Right, like a calculator.
But it's really more like an orchestra. It's a complex, dynamic system of hormonal signals, cellular processes, adaptations.
I love that analogy. It's not just about volume, it's about harmony. So heat is like the conductor stepping in to fix the tempo.
In a way, heat exposure creates a specific type of stress. And in response to that thermal stress, the body produces something called heat shock proteins, or HSP.
Heat shock proteins. That sounds intense.
Yeah.
What do they actually do inside the cell?
Think of them as the cellular repair crew, the emergency responders.
Okay.
Proteins in our cells can get damaged or misfolded from stress. When that happens, they don't work right. HSPs are dispatched to repair those damaged cells and, importantly, reduce inflammation.
And inflammation seems to be the villain in every health story lately. Why does it matter for weight management?
Because we're not talking about a swollen ankle, we're talking about meta-inflammation. This is chronic, low-grade inflammation that just simmers in the background.
From diet.
Stress, sedentary lifestyles, yeah. And that type of inflammation is a key contributor to metabolic dysfunction and weight gain.
So if I'm chronically inflamed, my metabolic orchestra is just out of tune.
It disrupts the signals. Specifically, it can block insulin receptors, making it harder for your body to process energy. The research suggests that by triggering these heat shock proteins, we might be dampening that inflammation. We're creating a better internal environment.
That is fascinating. So it's not burning the fat directly,
I see.
but fixing the machinery that manages the fat.
That's a perfect way to look at it.
Speaking of burning fat, though, the source mentioned brown fat, the good fat that burns energy.
Yeah.
Does the sauna trigger that?
I'm glad you brought that up because this is an area where we have to be really careful with the science.
Okay.
There's a lot of excitement about brown fat, but if you look at the data, most of the evidence for activating it in humans comes from cold exposure.
So the ice baths, not the saunas.
Mostly, yes. The body activates brown fat to keep you warm when you're freezing. The connection between heat and brown fat activation in humans is, well, it's still very much unproven.
Got it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me, the hormones. The source calls it a hormonal choreography.
It really is a dance, and it's not intuitive. Take cortisol, primary stress hormone.
And usually we want that low. High cortisol means belly fat, anxiety.
Generally, chronic high cortisol is bad news. But here's the paradox. Acute heat exposure actually raises cortisol initially.
Wait, what? So the sauna stresses me out. That seems counterproductive.
Physiologically, yes. Your body perceives the intense heat as a threat to its balance. It thinks, this is dangerous, I need to mobilize resources. So cortisol spikes.
Okay.
But, and this is the key, regular controlled exposure trains the body's resilience. It's a concept called hormesis.
Hormesis, that's the whole what doesn't kill you makes you stronger idea, scientifically speaking.
Pretty much. By spiking cortisol in a controlled way, you teach the system to regulate it better long term. You're effectively expanding your comfort zone.
So it's like resistance training for my stress response system.
Perfect analogy. You lift weights to tear muscle so it grows back stronger. You sit in the sauna to spike stress hormones so your baseline regulation improves. And that's hugely valuable for metabolic health.
That makes total sense. Short-term discomfort for long-term gain. What about growth hormone? The text threw out some wild numbers.
It did. Studies show sauna sessions can trigger significant spikes in growth hormones, sometimes 2 to 5 times above baseline.
Does that mean I'm going to walk out looking like a bodybuilder?
I wish it were that simple. If it were, every gym would just be a giant sauna.
Right.
No, it doesn't mean instant muscles. Growth hormone is a powerful catalyst for repair and recovery. It helps maintain lean body mass and encourages lipolysis, the breakdown of fat.
So it helps you hold on to muscle while you're trying to lose fat.
Theoretically, yes. And as we age, our natural GH levels drop. So the sauna gives us this natural pulse of this hormone, which is crucial for recovery, especially if you're pairing it with exercise.
Which seems to be the theme here.
The sugar stays in the blood, gets stored as fat, and you feel tired and hungry.
And the heat helps lubricate the lock.
That's a great way to put it. One mechanism is likely related to nitric oxide. Heat dilates blood vessels, which helps deliver insulin to the muscles more effectively. Better insulin sensitivity means better energy management, fewer crashes, and more regulated hunger.
That is huge. It really connects back to that orchestra idea. Now, I want to tackle some myths the source busted. The big one, spot reduction. Can I just sit in the sauna and melt my belly fat?
If only. The industry loves to promise this, doesn't it? But physiology just doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
Fat loss is systemic. Your body draws energy from stores all over based on your genetics and hormones. You cannot convince it to just take from the belly by making the belly hot.
A hard truth, but a necessary one. But the source did mention something about visceral fat.
Yes, and that's an important distinction. You can't spot reduce the pinchable stuff, but visceral fat, the dangerous stuff around your organs, is tied to inflammation and metabolic dysfunction.
That's the one that really impacts health.
Exactly. So if the sauna helps fix the metabolic dysfunction and lower inflammation, you might see a reduction in visceral fat over time. But it's a side effect of getting healthier systemically.
Okay, that's a healthy distinction.
Yeah.
Let's talk logistics. Timing. Do I go in before my workout or after?
The source is pretty clear here.
No.
Some people like it pre-workout, but you run a big risk of dehydration.
Right, you don't want to start a workout with your fluid tanks already low.
It impairs performance and increases injury risk. The sweet spot appears to be post-workout.
And why is that?
Well, think about it. You've just finished training. Your body is already in recovery mode. If you add heat stress at that moment, you're essentially doubling down on the recovery stimulus.
You're amplifying the signal.
Right. You drive those cardiovascular adaptations deeper, and you get that growth hormone spike right when your body needs it for repair. It's the perfect closer.
We have to say this clearly. It's not a replacement, right? I can't skip leg day and just sit in the sauna and call it cardio.
Absolutely not. The sauna provides a mild cardiovascular stimulus, but it can't replace the mechanical stress on your muscles or the aerobic capacity you build from running. It's a supplement, not a substitute.
Okay, so let's get practical. What's the prescription? What does the source recommend for frequency and temperature to see these benefits?
The protocols that show up most in the research, especially the Finnish studies, suggest a frequency of about 2 to 4 sessions per week. Consistency is key.
And how long per session?
Usually somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes, and the temperature is quite high,
No.
roughly 80 to 90 degrees Celsius.
Let's see. That's about 175 to 195 Fahrenheit. That is hot.
It's very hot, and that's why the source emphasizes you have to start conservatively. Do not jump into a 195-degree room for 30 minutes if you're new to this. Start with 10 or 15 minutes at a lower temp. Let your body adapt.
Safety is obviously paramount. Hydration is step 1, 2, and 3.
Non-negotiable. Ideally, with electrolytes, not just plain water, you're losing sodium, potassium, minerals that are essential for heart and muscle function.
Good point. Are there people who should just avoid the sauna altogether?
Yes. The source lists a few. Pregnant women should be very cautious. People with certain heart conditions like uncontrolled hypertension, anyone with kidney disease, or simply if you have a fever.
Right. If your body is already fighting a battle, don't add another one.
Precisely. And the golden rule is always to listen to your body.
Always.
If you feel dizzy, nauseous, or your heart is racing uncomfortably, get out. There's no prize for suffering.
I think that connects to the broader lifestyle point. It's not just about the biochemical reaction. It's about how it fits into your life. The source mentions sleep.
This is huge. We often overlook sleep, but it's foundational. Poor sleep disrupts your hunger hormones. Ghrelin goes up, leptin goes down.
So you're hungrier and less satisfying.
Exactly. And you crave high-calorie foods. Many people report that the sauna significantly improves their sleep. It's likely that stress reduction combined with the body temperature drop after you get out, that drop signals the brain that it's time to sleep.
So let's trace the domino effect. You sauna, you sleep better. You sleep better, your hormones are regulated so you make better food choices, and you have more energy to work out.
That's it. It lowers the metabolic cost of just being alive. It's all connected. You're setting up your next 24 hours for success.
It seems like the summary here is that the sauna isn't a hack. It's a support system.
That's the perfect way to frame it. It's a supportive practice. If you're looking for a shortcut where you do nothing else and just sit in a hot room and lose weight,
No.
this isn't it. But if you are looking for resilience, better recovery, better glucose management, then it's incredibly powerful.
I really like the phrase the expert used, forced stillness. In a world where we're constantly scrolling and multitasking, 20 minutes where your only job is to just breathe and sweat is rare.
And that value shouldn't be underestimated. Stress makes us hold on to weight. Finding a place where you can't bring your phone, you can't answer emails, that has a metabolic benefit too. It's about building a collection of practices that work together.
So here's the final thought for you listening. We've established the scale might not shift dramatically overnight just from the heat. But if you're sleeping better, recovering faster, and showing up more consistently for your life because you took that time to reset, isn't that the transformation that actually counts?
I couldn't agree more. It's about longevity, not just the number on the scale.
Thanks for diving in with us. Stay curious, stay hydrated, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.